Hi, welcome back to my channel, Fabulously Frugal and Fancy. I'm Brandy. Today's video is all about the events coming up this summer. I know that it is event season, wedding season, all of that, graduation parties and so forth. This video is a little late getting out. I wanted it out a few weeks ago, but just things have been crazy and I appreciate you guys being patient with me. But today's video is all about the events. I decorated recently for a wedding, and it was my nephew's wedding. I was very happy to do so. I'm very glad that I was able to do that, but I want to share that with you, so stick around. Let's go make something fabulous.
All right, so we are going to start with our inspiration today, and we're going to take a look at the inspiration that the bride sent me for this wedding. Now, each inspiration is going to be different. Here's the color scheme. You want to get these ideas together. Before you do anything else, these are just ideas. These are a wish list, so to speak. Different ideas that you want, different things that you like. And this is where you start. You start with your inspiration. And these are the inspiration that she sent me. The color scheme is at the very beginning, and then some of these are just different pictures. They don't have to match her color scheme at the very beginning. So you can have ideas. The next thing you're going to check into is the venue. Now, once you have all your inspiration, you're going to want to look at the venue. Venue is going to determine how many people you can have, what decorations you actually need. You want to take pictures of everything. This is the front entryway. This is what you see when all the guests will first walk in, and this, you need to make a big impression. This is the auditorium where the service is going to take place, and then this venue has all three. Has the reception hall there. It's the fellowship hall where they were doing the reception. So everything is in one building. Sometimes you won't have that, but this one, everything is in one building. So you just go through, you take pictures, you take measurements, you figure out how many tables you can have, what's the size, how many people are allowed in the building. Then you're going to move on to planning and your DIYs. Now, some of these DIYs I did film, some of them I didn't. So for these, I'm just doing the large letters with the flowers. Now I needed these to be extremely lightweight because I wasn't hanging them on a wall. I knew I was going to hang them on fabric. So first I just started measuring out with a ruler and drawing the letters. Now the two letters that I had were a J and a V. So it wasn't anything I needed to print out. I just needed them all to be the same, about the same height, and I needed the width of the letters to be the same all around. So I wasn't freehanding it. Obviously, I'm using a ruler, and I'm just marking my space so that I know how wide everything needs to be, how long. Then I'm just drawing out the letters. Now, again, this is a simple DIY that anybody could do. You can do it a lot heavier than what I did, but I did it very lightweight, again, just so that I could hang it on fabric instead of hanging it on the walls. So this is one of her inspiration pictures. I drew it on paper, my large sketch pad, then I cut it out, and then I transferred that to cardboard. So this was a pretty easy DIY that anybody could do. If you have a large letter, you can easily put it on cardboard and simply take the cardboard and fill it with flowers. It's very easy. I didn't film me gluing the flowers down, but simply all I did was take flowers, I cut off the back pokey parts, and I glued them all around on the cardboard letters. Very, very easy. Anybody could do this DIY. Turns out to be beautiful, and it's very lightweight. You can use this for a child's bedroom. You can use this for a venue, an event, anything. You can make this very, very easy. It's not difficult to make, and it's not difficult to do on your own. Very, very easy. And the result is very beautiful. See, so here I just taped down the J. I cut it out on cardboard that is not extremely thick. And here's the V. Again, I'm just showing you that I had drawn it. Then I cut them out. And then I glued flowers down to them. Very, very easy. Here is how they turned out. Here's the V. What you want to be sure of when you're doing flowers is that you don't overfill it so much you can't tell what the letter is. You want to cover all the back, but you don't want to not be able to read what the letter is. Okay, and now this DIY, I took some foam hearts from the Dollar Tree. Pick those up after Valentine's Day. If you ever decorate for a wedding, you want to go shopping after Valentine's Day and pick up a whole bunch of stuff. These I did before. Now, these are the little plastic, they call them shot glasses from Dollar Tree. I got several of those and the little square ones. And I'm just making some stands. They look like little candle holders. For these hearts, I did take some green ribbon, very thin, almost see-through ribbon, wrapped it around the heart and just kind of tied it in a little knot. Now, these mirrors all came from Dollar Tree. I had them in my stash, but I had two different sizes, so I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll use two different sizes. I didn't have enough of either one, and that's perfectly okay. So I was making a taller heart and a shorter heart to group together. I did make six of these, so I had three groups of two just sitting around the venues, different places. So, um, of course, two hearts together for a wedding. And as you can see, I used the little skinny shot glasses for the tall one and the little square, um, I don't know what you call those, appetizer things. Then I used this rhinestone wrap that I had to cover up the seam in the middle and also to give it a little bit more stability because that was there was a very small rim to glue that to. I apologize for my sinuses. My allergies have been acting up a little bit. So if you hear me sniffle, I apologize. I'm trying hard not to do that. So I wrapped the rhinestone wrap around the center, around the base that's right by the mirror. That also covers up the excess glue that kind of poured out that you could see. I just wanted to make it look a little prettier. So I just wrapped the rhinestone wrap around there. This is sticky on the back. I did get this off of Amazon. It's like a ribbon, but it's sticky on the back and it's all like glittery, shimmery rhinestones. And I found it on Amazon. Again, it's just called rhinestone wrap or rhinestone ribbon. Here, I'm just kind of measuring to see what I need a base for the heart to go on. And so I'm just using what I had, which was these round styrofoam pieces from Dollar Tree. I had extra of these that I did not use. I'll show you um, the other thing I made with those in just a moment. And then I had the hearts again from Dollar Tree. These turned out very beautiful and they did not cost a lot of money, like $5 total. See, I've just taken that um, thin ribbon that I got. It's very almost like see-through, like organza material. I don't know what it's actually called, but I just tied it in a little knot at an angle on the heart. I didn't glue it down. It didn't need to be glued. And so I just kind of wrapped it around and tied it in a knot and left some little tails there. Then I glued the heart to the base of to my base there that I had set. Now I did end up using a skewer to go in between them to hold the heart up a little steadier. Um, I didn't use a skewer. I had these stems from flowers. I saved those. I know that seems silly, but I use them a lot. So I had those stems from flowers, the wired stems, and I cut a small piece of that, put it in, glued it down, and then I just take some of this greenery garland that I have for the wedding, and I just kind of take some pieces of that and decorate the little bottom base. Very, very easy, very simple. You could put flowers down there around the base of the heart. You could use whatever you wanted. I was keeping it simple because I knew where these were going to go, and I knew that they didn't need a lot of excess stuff on them. Now, you'll see me take a piece of that's again the stems from other flowers, and I take them and kind of fold them into like a U, like a staple shape. And I use those. You can actually buy those. They're called floral pins, and they do kind of look like a U. I don't need to buy them if I have things at home that I just kind of take my little pliers there, bend them, and into a shape of a U, and I just shove them down in there. It's a way not to waste the stems of the flowers, and also not to just like spend money on things that I don't need to spend money on. So I have a lot of flowers. I took the stems of the flowers off when I was applying them to um, the cardboard for the letters. I saved the stems. I used them on this part so that I'm not spending any extra money on those supplies. And you can buy the little supplies. It's up to you completely. Here's how they turned out. Very simple, and I'll show you at the final reveal how they look at the wedding itself. They turned out very beautiful. These are just large foam flowers that I have. I actually have them decorating in my dressing room. I took those down and took those to the wedding and decorated an area with those. These are the little floral arrangements that I made for the end of the pew at the church. I used those round floral foam, put some greenery, some little roses, and a flower. These are the vases that she wanted vases with just baby's breath and a floating candle. So this was I had all different variety, and then these are the I used pool noodles, put some flowers in them for these tall arrangements. Stuck it on a pole, very very easy, easy to do. Anybody could do that as well. This is just a little tray that I had gotten at the Dollar Tree. The raw wood, and then I used the Dollar Tree wallpaper. Very easy. Now for the setup. This I had my nephews help with. I usually recruit people to help me do setup just for lifting and all of that kind of stuff, and just the manual labor of the work. It's always good to have a helper or two. Now, first I start setting up my backdrop stand. Now, my backdrop stand is made from the stands that hold the huge speakers, the PA stands. It'll hold a lot of weight. It's very sturdy. My boyfriend put this whole concoction together. He used a PVC pipe, and as you can see, it's very easy for me to do. Um, very portable. I can take it apart, put it back in the containers. It's very easy to use, and I've used it several times already, and it's very easy to store, and it's sturdy. The wind is not gonna knock this over. If somebody walks by and bumps it, it's not gonna fall. And a lot of the backdrop stands that you can buy, they're very, very flimsy. And as obviously we want safety, but we also want it to look beautiful. So he put this stand together for me several years ago, and it is held up. I'm just using um, fabric again. I used this curtain in the middle. It's got like these little vines, floral leaves kind of embroidered onto it. It was very pretty. I got the curtain, believe it or not, off clearance on the website. It's called Tablecloth Factory. It's a wholesale event supply company, and they have everything. Tablecloths, yes, but they have these curtains. They have lots of things, and if you go and shop on what's on sale, I wasn't planning on using this kind of a curtain. But when I saw it on sale, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. It would be the perfect. I was planning on just getting simple, sheer cream colored curtains. But then this one was even prettier and it was cheaper. So you just have to look and see what's on sale, what you're going to use. So first I get the fabric on there, and then I use some of the greenery. I'm going greenery all across the top. I have clips, I have pins, safety pins that I'm hooking to the back. You can put this together very easily without anything showing on the front of how you put it together. I just use a lot of safety pins, and I literally pin the base of the whatever. This is garland, so it actually had a little round circle to where you can hang it. I put that through the safety pin it to the back of the fabric. Nobody can see it, and it's very sturdy. And this is very easy, so I'm just putting the greenery on first. The greenery goes on first. I want it draped down the sides. I want it across the top and down a little bit in the middle, and then I add the flowers to it as well in just a moment. And I believe these are called like wisteria. I got these in large packs from, I believe, the Tablecloth Factory or some other wholesale place online. These are just beautiful white flowers that'll drape beautifully. I'm trying to spread them out a little evenly here, so I have my nephew standing behind there, and he's holding them up so that I can make sure that they are all even across. We're not pinning them yet. He's just kind of holding them because I wanted to make sure that they were even across the whole thing. Again, sometimes it's nice just to have two people. He's holding them in place until I like how they look on the front. And then we go through and we pin them down. And I believe he's pinning them in the back now. I'm holding the others and he's pinning where they look. So it's very easy to set up. It is a little time consuming, but it turns out beautiful. Then we set up all the tables, put on all the tablecloths, uh, and then I used these thinner vines. I had these are eucalyptus garlands, and I had, three or four for each table. And then the round tables, I wanted the centerpiece to be, full enough. So I used three vases on each table, varying sizes, varying shapes. I did not have matching um, vases. Most of these I got at the thrift store a long time ago when I did uh, a wedding shower for my sister. And here's how everything turned out at the end. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this. I enjoyed decorating for them. I'm just going to play some music and let you watch.
All right, so I hope this was useful, helpful information for you. If you have an event or a wedding coming up this summer, how you can take your inspiration and turn it into a great idea. I hope that you enjoyed this and learned something. If you did, subscribe, like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you have going on this summer that you have to arrange for. I would love to talk to you, and I will see you soon. Bye, have a blessed day.